And all my friends that are mothers, just now happy Mother's Day. Just being appreciative of everything. Uh, I feel like that's the best thing that I can do. Um, and we just carry forward, and I do little things like go out and get like our favorite ice cream, and stuff like that. Little things to keep the memories alive, and just smile. Like I'm appreciative of the time that I had, and be able to bless people with what she left. What she left me. Being able to be nice, kind, hospitable. Like that's how she raised me. And don't let the world turn you cold. And
Yeah.
no matter what hurts you, don't change. And
Yeah.
just keep, what I'm saying? And spreading the love of God.
Amen, boy.
I know I act a fool. I got you. Yeah. Look what you've done. Look what you. Mama, you know I love you.
There's no way I can pay you back, but the plan is to show you that I understand. You all.
So what's going on, beautiful people? It's your host, Drake B. Drake with Everythang Culture, the podcast for all cultures, the podcast of the purpose. Our mission statement comes to the words of Dr. Martin King Jr., which is he believed that men hate each other because they fear each other. They fear each other because they don't know each other. They don't know each other because of segregation. And because of segregation, we had miscommunication. So we created this podcast on the pillars of respect, communication, and consistency so we can get to know each other, so we can love one another. And this morning, this afternoon, this evening, we have the pleasure of introducing these brothers that we have with us. And right now, what I can see, we have Demario, Marvin, and Jesse. And hold on, beyond everything, what we going by again? Corey?
Going by Corey. I'm trying to get my camera up. I want to have to quit and return back in.
All right, hey, we gonna be here, Corey. We're gonna be here.
So I'll
But
be right back. I'll be right back, man. Keep it cultural.
no problem, man. Appreciate you. Y'all remember Jesse Rose Jr. from last week's episode, okay? Of the Where Are We Now and the makings of Jesse Rose Jr. And you may know Marvin from the makings of Marvin. In the future, we have to do the Where Are We Now with Marvin, as well as the great work with his doing. Okay, let me say he's a chocolatier. Am I still with that?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Out of we got Philly, we got Detroit, or not Detroit.
Yes, sir.
Is it okay? We got Detroit, Michigan.
Born and raised in Detroit. Yes, sir.
Okay,
The
DeMar, you in Seattle, right?
Yeah, I just moved back to Seattle, but was born here. But spent like around 8 years in LA.
Look at we all connecting. Of course, we got Houston in the building, baby. East Texas, South Sea for Leah. And I think we got some Florida rights that may swing through. I think we may have some folks from Cali. Some old folks from Cali may jump in. Will we see? But today we're going to be discussing Mother's Day. All right. And I discussed earlier, every year we do a Mother's Day or Father's Day episode. And this year I wanted to switch it. I want to be a little bit different than others. I want to hear a perspective from men. And the reason why I believe we hit a point that we have so much division between one another that I believe it's helpful for us just to have a conversation to actually hear what we think about one another and how much we may appreciate or what can we do different and our thoughts about the days we should be celebrated and honored. So just want to hear from everybody, and I'm going to start with Jesse. Why do you celebrate Mother's Day, or why do you believe Mother's Day should be celebrated?
Well, I would say, I'll define Mother's Day for purposes of this conversation for all those mothers, even the ones that are pet mothers. We include them too. All right, so not include them. I got my hand held to me. I live in Seattle. So for me, my mom is still a significant role model in my life. My mom and dad have been married for 57 years, and she's an empath. And so she can feel my energy. I live here in Seattle too, born and raised Philly, and she's still in Philadelphia, and she can still feel my energy. She always drops wisdom down, and then and I got a chance to not only learn her as a toughness that she was growing up. I'm sure we'll dive into that a little bit later too. But also, I got a chance to see her soft side, vulnerableness, and how to care and nurture women. need our women in our lives, and I'm dedicated myself significantly in supporting women. Too often I hear men, specifically black men, not supporting our black women specifically, but just in broader too, men not supporting women. And for me, it's like I had to think about that. My mom is so tough. She just carried weight for everything. So growing up, my mom got this. She ain't got to worry about. But reality is, even if your mom got this, she still want that love and support and nurture. So I'm realizing in my late 40s the role and the expectation to be present, loving and caring and supportive, even to those tough moms growing up. My
Yeah.
mom like 5'2", but she'll kick your butt in a second. She's
Love it, man. Thank you. Marvin, I'm gonna shoot it to you. Same question. Like, why do you celebrate Mother's Day, or why do you feel like it's the significance of it?
Um, First of all, your mother's like your first love.
Mm,
You know what I'm saying? Um, your first example of what a woman is, what a woman can be. And I'll say this, even though I found myself, uh, my mother was very, in my opinion, when I was a kid, my mom was meddlesome.
mm,
She didn't let me work things out on my own. She wanted to protect me. She wanted to interject. She told things that I asked her not to tell, but she did it so I would be safe. You know what I'm
mm.
saying? And uh, I found myself as a young kid saying, my wife can't be like my mom. But I ended up marrying a woman who was almost just like my mom.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
and my mom is very driven. I think I get my desire for business from her. Even at 83, she's trying to uh, find a way to leave something, leave a legacy to her sons. You know what I'm saying? Through
yeah,
business. And I think, mothers are just, I mean, they're our first everything. They're our first teachers, our first nurturers. They just, I mean, a good mom is invaluable.
yeah,
There aren't enough words to describe what she means to the life of her child. And for me, seeing my mom, seeing my wife now uh, as a mom, it's just it's indescribable what a good mom does for her family, for her children, and even for if she's fortunate enough to have a husband, um, because in these days we have a lot of single parent families,
yeah,
but what they do for their entire family is just completely invaluable, and
yeah.
that should be celebrated not just one day of the year, but every time you think about their contribution to your life, you should celebrate that mother.
Absolutely. Thank you, Marvin. And welcome in, Victor. Welcome back, Corey. Just want to say quickly to y'all, but we're about to pass it to Mario. And the question is, once again, why do you celebrate Mother's Day, and what is the significance for it?
All right, yeah, man, I'll celebrate Mother's Day because shoot, my mom has celebrated me for what 30, oh, I'm 34 years. Shoot, 34 years. Um, and so it's the one day out of the year that society, that I'll even say more so America, because different cultures celebrate Mother's Day on different days, different
Hmm.
months, different times of the year. But within America, that's the one day out of the year that we celebrate our moms. Um, it's cool to do it on a national level. It's dope. It's cool. So man, every day is Mother's Day. Every single day is Mother's Day. Like Marvin said, my mom's all those sacrifices she made for me, that I continue to hold near and dear to my heart. My mom became medically disabled when I was in high school. So I've
Mm,
had to take care of my mom since I was in high school, and
wow.
so there's nothing that I wouldn't do for my mom. That's my superhero. She gives me my motivation. She's from Birmingham, Alabama, so that Southern hospitality run through her blood. And so even though I'm from the West Coast, it's here.
Yeah, do you know the Great Migration, baby?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, okay. Vic, same question. You know, why do you celebrate Mother's Day and what's the significance for you?
Good evening, fellas. Drake, it's been a long time. I appreciate you
Uh,
welcoming me back onto the platform. But to answer the question, the reason you celebrate Mother's Day, the reason I celebrate Mother's Day is because my mom, she showed me resilience because there was a part of my life that I ain't really want nothing to do with her, but
mm,
she kept on knocking, she kept being persistent. And she also established, the one thing with me is she took accountability for the errors that she messed up at, and not many women do that, and that taught me right there women are capable of being accountable. And once I got past that, I was able to look at all her good, that she was always there, she was always reliable. If I needed something, she made it happen. And also, and when I went above and beyond for her, she was always grateful no matter what I did for her, whether it was something small like pulling up on her in Jacksonville when I was still in college, or
mm,
something big like helping her get a rental car or something, or things along that line. She knows that I will put really help her out, and she was always grateful for that. And like I said, a boy's first love is his mom, so we always got to celebrate Mother's Day for the moms that deserve it. And also add on to in real life, because people moms our age, you see the good moms our age that are stepping up and doing what they need to do as well, so they deserve to be celebrated. Now the ones that don't need to be celebrated, well, you already know who those are.
yeah. Thank you, Vic. Thank you. And Corey, you last for the question, but you're not least. We want to hear from you.
Hope you guys can hear me loud and clear, man. To me, man, my mother was like my God.
Mm,
She was all we had,
mm,
either the good or the bad. You as you get older, you appreciate mom a little bit better. Every year you get older, you appreciate it when you're encountered with those same decisions. You know, no knock on my father, but I didn't know him well as a youth. But as a man, I figured out why. Men we go through certain things, but my mom, she did the best she could, man. And through the struggle, I learned to appreciate my mom. For all those years, she did everything for us, man. We could have gave up. She could have gave up. Now you know how thin it is now. You see people just doing anything to children, but she stuck it out, and we made it, man. And for that, mistakes or no mistakes, that's mama, man, and we love her.
mm. Thank you, man. Thank you. And I see my guy Derek is joining right now. My bad for sending the link late. My all apologies to me. I am missing my guy. I was late, but I know he's probably loading in right now. But I'll share my perspective about Mother's Day. Mother's Day is very unique for me because I lost my mother when I was at the age of 15, and I had my auntie that stepped in as a mother figure, and I absolutely love her. And I had my other aunties and other people in the community, women in the community that represent that. But and it was sometimes Mother's Day I used to try to avoid it. You feel me? It used to be something like, man, not so much about the appreciation, but to be transparent and honest, it's like, gosh, seeing everybody connecting with their mom, it's not about jealousy. It's like, I need to heal right here. I need to take a little step back. And honestly, and I may even still do it this year. Even putting this episode out or not, like I may skip a day or two by being on Facebook or social media. Cause I'm just like, I love people able to have that love and connection, but I'm like, ugh, I have to, that's something I deal with. But the significance is still there, the appreciation. And even with Victor, we're discussing, it was like, even though my mother made mistakes and had problems, um, with the Tupac, I understand to show you that you are appreciated at the end of it all. And I asked this question I'm starting to ask you more on the show is when did you realize your parents are people? And I think it's even harder to realize your mother as Corey even said is God, but when I had to realize, man, she's a human being. She's going to make mistakes. She's going to have problems. She's going to have flaws, just like many of us. And it took a bit for me to get to that. So for Mother's Day, that value of people to show appreciation, because you show it all year round, but that day right there, it's not even about the cards. It's not even so much about the flowers. You can send it all the time, but just show like, hey, I love you and I appreciate it, and I want the world to see it. It's amazing. So that's how I can share. And I know Victor might have dropped, but Derek is in the ride right now. We see it. We thank you for being here. And we're going to jump to the next question too. But I want to know, as far as, we're all young at a time in life. What is something that I'm gonna get right into? What is something that you have yet to apologize for your mother about? If you need to apologize, let's just think about it. Give y'all time. Something that you may have done or something that you may not have been aware of, even that, like, you know what, mom, you know what? I appreciate you, but I apologize for this. Unless y'all was just the A1 great kid, never caused any problems or issues, kudos to y'all. But just saying, if you have anything to your mom, like, hey, mom, I recognize when I was doing X, Y, and Z that you stepped up in this way, help me out. Do y'all have any of those moments or any thoughts or anything to share? Who would like to go first?
Well, I'll go first, man. I have to apologize to my mom all the time.
Yeah.
She raised four of us, and me being the youngest boy.
Oh yeah, you
And
definitely got a few. Go
yeah,
ahead.
I was a home disruptor. I was the first one she put out. First one she had to hear
Mm,
rumors about her son doing things on the street. So
mm,
it's a continuation of apologizing to my mom
Same.
because we
Yeah.
wasn't raised like that. And like I said, it's an appreciation you get as you get older, as you remember back, and as you get older, you start to remember certain scenarios, and now you have a picture painted where you can appreciate it just a little bit more. Even if she made the wrong move, she had to make the move. You can appreciate it more. You can forgive a little bit.
mm,
So that's what I want to always forgive my mom for just causing so much trouble and had I heard the rumors and the pressure she was probably under me being the youth.
mm.
So it's a constant apology to my mom.
I echo that too. I would say, you know, I don't have anything specific because I was the oldest. So I had the other swing. When you're the oldest, you got to break all the barriers. And I'm very strong mind, entrepreneur, corporate, make moves. And so you can imagine I was always pushing the envelope.
Yeah.
But one thing I would say, if I had to do more a general one, is just not always being present
Mm,
to her needs. And so I think a lot of times our moms will say things in the moment through storytelling. My mom loves metaphors. She loves sharing stories. And I get a lot of my storytelling from my mom. And sometimes I want to go outside or I want to just go do whatever that was on my mind, that not so present moment.
yeah.
Right? And so I look back on things and realize there's a lot that my mom's probably been saying to me over the years. I just didn't hear it. Like parents say a lot to you, you just don't hear it until you get in later in life and say, "Oh, my mom been saying to me since I was 15 years old. Why am I just now hearing it?" So for me, I would say the piece of not being present to receive the message and the lesson that she was putting upon me. In some cases, being the eldest, I had experienced it. Like, oh crap, my mom was right. So it is the application of what she tried to put in front of me and the understanding. Sometimes, like, as parent, I'm a parent, I have a 26-year-old son, I have a 21-year-old daughter. And sometimes, I'll say things to my children to protect them, right? And, it may not be truly protecting, it just projecting my trauma onto them. And there was
Mm,
moments my mom was just trying to protect, and I was probably a little too quick to dismiss it without providing that clarity. So I think those two things, not being present and not being hearing and accepting of the lessons that my mom was put it on me. Not necessarily repeat the same pattern she did, but at least give the respect and space to acknowledge what she may have went through. So I echo those words.
man. Thank you, Jesse. Thank you,
Yes,
Corey.
sir.
Okay. We got Demir. Marvin came off mute. Let's go.
Um, for me, I would say I would have to apologize for not meeting certain expectations.
Mm,
My mother is an academician. Uh, Even in her 60s, I think she was getting degrees, got her master's, lifelong school, always doing something. And I know for her it was a disappointment that I did not get my degree.
Mm.
I know that was a disappointment to her because she was she always expected my brother and I to finish college. And my brother did finish later on in life. We're both in our 50s, and he finished. Part of the reason he was able to finish was because he was working for a school and he got to go free. But and I don't begrudge him that, but I know she always wanted me to go and get a degree in something, whether it was the pursuit of the culinary part or a bachelor's in business or whatever. I know she wanted me to always get that degree, and because I haven't, and I'm not saying I won't, but and if I do, it'll probably be for the culinary part. Um, but yeah, if I would apologize for anything, it will be not meeting those expectations that uh, she had that were not unreasonable.
Mm. Yes, yes, yes. I see a statement, right from the book from Jesse. You go ahead and share it, Jesse.
Yeah, I want to offer some love and perspective on this one. It's so true. Like in life, and I had this. My quote always said, "I work with humans to create possibilities, not excuses." And in those recent conversations, someone shared this quote here to help reframe my way. And they supported that, and they double clicked on it. Something you just said about expectations. And so one thing I'll share is always remember unfulfilled expectations. Trust me, I have a ton of expectations my mom probably instilled in me that I've disappointed her with. We all do. We all do, right? We're different humans. And so realizing unfulfilled expectations does lead to disappointment. And that's just what's so. However, while unfulfilled possibilities lead to more possibilities. And so I just think about if you reframing your mom in your mind about what your mom is trying to create is really possibilities. And it leads to other possibilities. Okay, I didn't choose that path. Got it. That's something you may have done in your period. Got that too. But as a result, the path I did chose, it led to these possibilities. And so it helps you continue to be free to be. And your mom and your loved ones are just really inflicting possibilities on you. Because man, again, shit, I can go days and days of how many disappointments
And listen,
on my
listen.
mama, she's like, "What you know. So, but they're like, oh, got it. Okay, you saw the possibility of going into school. You saw the possibility of me becoming an engineer or whatever the heck it may be. And the reality is, I'd have chose this path, and as a result, led to these possibilities. So I just want to put that for you, my brother. Yep, yep. And that got
Appreciate it.
handed to me. So wanted to share it back with this audience here too.
That's growth, man. That's love.
Love, love. Yeah. It lets you be free too. You don't feel restricted to the past because, you can't. You got to be
Oh,
you.
already, man. And I see the Mario and Derek. I know Derek, he may still be in the ride, but we here for you, brother. If you want to jump in, just let us know. But Demario, we got you, man.
Yeah, man, Jesse said something earlier on the first song he was talking about presence, and
Mm.
for me, man, I think just that, man, that apology because I had that guilt. Like I said, my mom was medically disabled in high school, like from the time I was in high school. So when I left the college, I felt the type of way. I felt like I was leaving her. I felt like I wasn't like her support system was leaving. Came back from college, had the opportunity to go to grad school, right? Still me leaving her again. And I stayed down in LA for a while, for a long while. And then after that, my bad, my dog. After that, I slid back home during COVID, and I said, this time I'm home. Next time I move out this state, or if I move out the state again, my mom's coming with me. My mom's always gonna go with me. Like I'm not gonna leave you again. And You know, if I could apologize about anything, it's like not physically being not physically being present.
Appreciate you. And Vic, he sends his apologies. His computer completely died on him, but if he get back together, he'll hop back on with us. But you know, I did. I don't know if y'all listened to it, but a deep when I did my Mother's Day episode a few years ago when I was speaking to my mother. As I said, my mother's passed when I was 15, so I never had an adult conversation with my mom. So that conversation was extremely deep, and I did my apologizing. I apologized for not having a better relationship with my brother. That's something she always wanted, and I don't know if I apologize for this, but I apologize now. And even with my auntie, this go for you too. Both y'all can combine having such a smart ass mouth. Okay, I even apologize to my wife for that. Okay, whew, that is like a bane. I'm gonna pull even almost with Jesse. It's like it's a disappointment, but it create possibilities too. Because I was that kid. Even as I'm apologizing for it, and I got to be real. My apology, like if they were here, they're like, "You ain't really sorry." I'm not, but I do. I recognize how much of a problem it could be, and how much of a headache having a kid with such just having quips or something to say at the end of the. I've had so many times where I should have just been quiet and listened, even though I didn't agree with the decision. But me just, and I like, once again, just making things more difficult than it had to be, So I apologize for that. Sincerely. I mean the apology. I'm going to try to stop. I'm going to try.
That was a long apology there, bro.
Man, because listen, I struggle with it. Can we be honest? We authentic here, all right? Aren't we?
Oh, what
Like,
happened?
listen, I gotta throw my boo. Like I know sometimes my wife has the best out of all of them because I could be quiet. Because I've grown, but I was younger. Oh no! If you say you gonna take us to McDonald's, you ain't gonna take us to McDonald's. Oh, you gonna hear my mouth. I like, are we really being responsible and honest here? I'll be petty. I can count on both hands the amount of whoopings I've got in life. Okay. And out of at least 90% of them was because of my mouth. Just let y'all know. I don't know what y'all come from, but that's me. But
Clarification. You only got whoopings on one hand?
I'm probably like 7.
I'm
Like,
the
listen,
East, yo.
compared to my peers, that's nothing.
Love my mom. Can't not get in trouble, but definitely more than 2 hands.
See, that's why I say, see.
You talking about hands? What? Sometimes it was objects. What you hands?
I got the jelly bean shoe. I got the broom one time.
Oh,
I was 16 years old, and she was saying something, and I said, F you. Man, she chased me out the house with the
You
broom.
still here? You still here?
Fact. Hit me with the broom. I come back in the house because I was embarrassed, and then she gave me the hand. Clop. Glasses flew off the face, broke in half. I was just, damn. That was the last time I ever got out of line. I was 16. I didn't get no more beatings after that. I ain't getting no more trouble after that. I said, my mom could throw the hands. She threw the hands and the broom at me.
yeah, you led into one of the future questions right there. And we're gonna get to it now. Like, what has been something that we did the apology. So we passed the apology now. What is something that, like, man, your mom helped you overcome a moment, but you really tried it? Okay. What was a moment that, like, okay, I really was out of pocket for it? Um, Let me, I'm gonna start first with y'all if y'all don't mind. Man, wifey knows about this. But my wife, my auntie, I'm gonna give it to the auntie. Okay, 'cause I was older. And she caught somebody in the house, in the closet, by the way. All right. Yeah. It was one of them days skipping class, whatever. Woo, woo, woo. And this is, man, let's pull this back a little bit. I was doing a lot. That's why I say, because one of my nephews did this, I like, y'all are really bold for this. I still like, thank you, auntie. I love you. But I was going to prom with another girl. I was dating another girl. She caught the one that I wasn't going to prom with in the closet. And like, she was, completely grounded, mad. She got home from work. I tried to lock her out of doors, lock her out her own house. being a homeowner now, that is like one of the worst things to do. Somebody lock you out your own. Okay. And I apologize for that too, Auntie. I apologize for that before I apologize again. But that right there, like when and the thing is, I was such a smart mouth. I was cool. And I was the type of kid that I would rather have a whooping than hear somebody nag me. Okay. And I remember saying like it could be all right. You told me time and time again, but there's another time I should have shut up. And I still have the picture. I may use this as the cover of this podcast right here. I still have the picture. I took a picture. She still let me go to prom. She still allowed me to pick out a suit because she was like the other girl don't deserve missing out on prom because of something stupid I did. That was real mature. Okay. And in my opinion, I appreciate that. And just helped me overcome just explaining why she didn't want me doing it, how disrespectful it was to have somebody in the house. And she set out the rules very clearly. But I really appreciate her dealing, working with me with that or just talking me through it. Cause I deserve to be grounded and the whole nine, but it's still to have some leeway and understanding. And that helped out a lot. So I appreciate that moment. But she could have just suplexed me too. Oh, I got another moment. We'll go say that to later. We'll go say that to later.
Yo,
What's up, Derek? What's happening
can
with you, my
y'all can hear
guy?
me? Am
Yeah,
I
we hear
good?
you clear, man. You sound great.
My bad. Yeah, I apologize. I'm sorry I'm late. You know what I'm
It's
saying?
fine, man. That's on me, man.
I done
So,
missed all the good questions, man.
man,
Like,
nah,
dang.
man, let's start with this one right here. What was a time that you may have disappointed your mother, something that and she had to get you back in line?
Whoo-wee. The one time where I forged her signature.
Oh, y'all stunned. Okay.
Look, for
Yeah,
what
that was
though?
a
Would
bad
you
one.
would you forge it for it?
Like, I think it was because I think it had something to do with like if I didn't get something signed or whatever, I was gonna get like some crazy detention or something wild. So but I'm telling you though, I did it to the T. I don't know how I got caught. Like I don't understand. Like I'm talking about a trace. You know what I'm saying? I did it exactly how it was. It is what it is. So then everything was cool. It was like a nice day. Everything felt
Oh,
calm.
that
And
was the
I'm
worst one.
home. It was the calm before the storm, boy. Oh man, got home and I was chilling, playing games or whatever. And then when she got home, oh, it was wraps. It's like take your clothes off.
Oh,
Then I got hit with the what is it like the little cradle stick like wooden cradle stick? Oh yeah, it was over. I got tore up.
hey,
But
those the
I ain't never
worst.
forged a signature. I never forged no signature after that. I was over with.
We learned. Those are the worst ones. You get lulled in that false sense of safety and calmness, like oh, everything good. Oh, yeah,
I'm
no.
talking about the day was nice. Like after I had trouble, I was chilling with friends. Everything was cool. Everything having fun, and then everything started settling in. I was like, yo, it's about that time.
Mm, mm. That's why the anxiety kicks in. I think that's when the first sense of anxiety was that. Now, Corey, now you said you was out there and about in your younger days. I know you got a couple, man. So give
It's
us
too
one.
many. It's too
Give us
many to
one.
choose from. I'm gonna say she was dating this gentleman, man, and they went to sleep. We took his car, man, riding all downtown. We 12, 13 years old. We took it riding. I don't know where we
12.
got caught. Yeah, we got caught because we didn't park the car back the right way. So that was very embarrassing, man. He never told us so.
Oh, okay.
That's
Okay.
something I need to apologize to about. Yeah.
Okay. Boy, hey,
So
hey.
he kept it solid with us though. Yeah.
Yeah, I've never done it to. I've done it with her car before, my auntie's car, but see, I ain't gonna be snitching on. This ain't gonna be no snitching on yourself episode. I'm letting y'all know that right now. Y'all just get one for each of us, just one. Marvin,
Ask that question again.
has it been
I
a
don't think that
time?
was the original question.
Oh man, has it been a time that it can flow because you man been a moment that man. Thank you for being here, Jesse. Appreciate you, brother. Man, has it
Appreciate
been?
y'all. So I'm gonna try to stay on. I'm gonna try to stay on. If my reception stays good, I'll try to stay and contribute off screen, but I won't scare y'all while I'm driving.
No.
Love it. Thank you for creating this space. And I'm definitely not snitching on myself by no past self. You crazy.
No, man.
I
You know,
got inventory. I got inventory.
has it been
All
a
right, fellas.
time? No, has it been a time where you have your mother had to give you some redirection? Had you have to have you overcome something? Been a moment of learning. What did you do, and what did your mom do to shift you?
That's see, I really was that kid. I
Oh,
really was that good kid. You know what I'm saying? Because I was afraid of my daddy.
mm,
So I really was like, we was church every Sunday. I sang in the choir. I directed the choir. I mean, I was really sort of a model kid. But you mentioned uh, something where your mom might have covered you.
mm, yes,
Okay, so I was dating a young lady who was insecure. She was really insecure, and she had no reason to be because I wasn't one of the guys that was out there playing around. I
yeah,
had a girlfriend, period. But there were some young ladies on my street that I grew up with that I loved to life. Like they were some of my best friends. We talked all the time, we hung out all the time, all of that. And this girl couldn't take it that I had female friends.
mm,
So I remember one day when she was at my house, my mother pulled her to the side and she said to her, "Baby, if you really want him to, he'll give up his friends, but you may not like who he is
mm,
without his friends."
mm,
And because your circle makes you, what I'm saying? Your circle helps you become who you are. And these are like people I've known since I was 10 years old, 10, 9 years old. And they are like some of my very best friends. So I did what I could to sort of appease her and um, did not communicate with them as much. But then I realized I became mean.
mm.
I started getting a little mean, and I just had to have that conversation like, hey, you gotta trust me.
Yeah,
Okay, you just gonna have to trust me with my friends. But my mom had that conversation with her, like, you may not like who he is if you make him do that, if you make him make that choice, So that was kind of like my mom running interference for me and knowing that those girls were just, I mean, those girls were just like my boys, Mike and Daniel,
yeah,
who are my two best guy friends. Those girls were just like that. They were just really good friends. And yeah, so she kind of ran interference for me in that instance. Now, for that relationship didn't last a whole lot longer, but
yeah, yeah, yeah,
but mom's really covered me on that. She had that conversation that you know I wasn't really wise enough to have because I didn't know I would change in that way without those people in my life.
yeah. No, I love that. That's I ain't gonna do what the young folks be doing now, but yeah, that is. I'm gonna give it a thumbs up. That is great advice right there. That's wisdom. I never thought to say you'll change who you are. But I have a friend
Mhm.
going through that right now as an adult. Somebody want them to cut their friends off, and I'm like, we will step back, but when the real you come out, it ain't gonna be nice for them. They just gonna be, as a friend, we'll be here when everything works out or don't work out, whatever the case may be. But no, shout out to mom for that. That was excellent advice, and to give to someone else too. That's amazing. Yeah. She got anybody else want to share a moment that, let's say, your mother has bestowed some wisdom on you that has continued to affect you throughout life right now? Because I would say wisdom come at moments the way you may least expect it, especially at the worst moments too. It's okay.
Man, it's a lot of nuggets, on my end. Just help me be the man I am today. Honestly, like I can't think of like any like one specific thing, but I can go on and take up all the time with a whole bunch of different. So I wouldn't say it's one; it's just been multiple.
Okay, okay. You got. Do you have one for us? Just toss out one. Just toss out one. Give us something.
Just one. Uh, Man, I was trying to think. Oh, I will say one thing. I do love the fact that my mom's always told me from a young age is like, never hit a woman, never hit a woman. Like, but from a young age, right?
Okay.
So as I got older and I was in a relationship where, my partner had hit me or whatever, right? And as
Sorry
much
about
as you
that.
want to retaliate and take off, like I didn't. I took off on the wall instead of taking off on her. But that's just because as a kid, like I was always told that, like, hey, you don't hit women, you don't hit women, you don't hit women. So if there's one thing I am super grateful about that my mom instilled in me, like you never hit a woman. And if she didn't tell me that, she never would have told me that. I'm not saying I would have hit my girlfriend at the time, but also just knowing that you don't do that from the age of 6, that's something you don't do. I mean, it clicked, and it stuck.
I'm gonna add something else with my mom. She gave me some wisdom. I said my auntie earlier, but with my mom, no matter, my mom has made mistakes and things in life, but and she would tell me things. Okay, people gossip, men and women. All right, people gossip. All right, but she would tell me things when she was a friend to someone. She would be a loyal friend. Okay, and I saw this as a child that she would tell me one of my friends that she was usually my friends or her friends. I was friends with their kids. Okay, and if she see one of her friends going through something, like one of her friends became an alcoholic, okay, or so anything they knew, she would tell me, "Hey, kids at your school will be talking about this. You better not say a peep, nothing. You better not tease him about none of this. That's your friend. That's my friend. We do not do that." Even though my mother was going through her vices, and that same friend would tease me about my mother going through her vices. She said, "You do not do that." And even when I'm on social media and things now, I never try to bring people down because of their issues and abuse. And I learned that from my mom. So that is some wisdom because you never know someone you may love may be going through that. And even from seeing other peers go through it, like I had some of my we're adults now, and some of my peers, so and so I was going through this and that, guys, and I like, yeah, I've been knowing that since I was like 8. I just never talked to y'all about it. That wasn't the place to do it. And I didn't tell them because my mom, well, I did tell, I said, because my mom not only said don't do it for the reason, she also said she would knock my head off my shoulders. But all now being said, it was one of the things to do. So and I'm reading the chat with Jesse. And this is recently from his mother. You are listening to yourself. Nice. To teach, you must listen to hear what they hear. Ooh, see, I was gonna bring that up with Jesse earlier, that listening part. Listening makes understanding clearer. Hearing versus listening. Once I learned to listen, I started to listening to what I heard. Mama Jesse Rose. you know, and I say this with Everythang Culture, and I learned this from the work I've done. Our pillars are respect, communication, and consistency. That communication part is so important, but the respect is the most important. Well, I don't know, because all of them they all go together. Okay. But when you hear me, you can, like, we heard Demario's dog a moment ago, right? But we were listening to Demario. All right. Hearing does not take respect. Listening does. Like when we're kids, we may not respect what somebody else is saying at times, but we hear them. It's going to be like the situation of Charlie Brown, the want. But when you care what somebody's saying and you're listening, you respect, like I'm telling you, you go lock in, and you would ask them even to repeat themselves so you make sure you hear it clearly. So when we have that respect to add in that knowing the difference between hearing someone and listening, it'd be much more effective for both parties. So Just throw that out there. But I absolutely agree. Man, man. All
Can
right.
I say this real quick?
100%. This is a conversation. Come on.
So listening to my mom, um, because my mother, she's involved. She stays involved. I've been married now. It'll be 32 years in
Woo.
uh October. 32
Congratulations,
years.
brother. Ooh.
Thank you, man. She stayed with me. Um, but like my mother, because my mother tends to be engaged in so much of our lives, there are
Mhm.
times when I did not, you know, want to hear what she had to say or want to listen to what she had to say. Um, and just being observant, she would say, you know, like Marvin, your wife's tired. You know,
Mm.
Marvin, your wife, you got to do a little more. Your wife needs some help. And as a man, who is the main breadwinner, um, who has a job, runs a business, uh, has children, and you know is involved in a few other things. It's like, well, I'm tired too. You
Yeah.
know, but what she was doing was like saying like, I know you tired, but you're gonna have to find a way to push past and help your wife out a little bit, whether it's washing the clothes this time or, you know, when you come home, you start dinner, whatever the case may be. You know, she is observant like that. And sometimes, you know, we might feel our pride gets in the way and we feel like, you know, you meddling, you in my business, all that kind of stuff. But, you know, knowing your mom really loves and cares about you, and she loves and cares about my wife as
Mm.
well. That's not her daughter-in-law, that's her daughter, you know. So knowing that makes you kind of step back and say, okay, is there something I can do? Is there a little, you know, is there a place where I can find to contribute more and not just think because I'm the one that gets up and goes to a job that I'm the only one working,
Yeah.
you know, because I have a special needs daughter that she homeschools.
Mm.
So there's a lot of work there, you know,
Yeah.
speaking about my wife now as a mother, you know, um, sacrificing what she may have wanted to do with her career to uh, make sure my daughter was good, or make sure my daughter is good, you know, and even my son, you know, who's 21 now. But my mother again said, hey, you know, you got to do a little more to help your wife out because she's tired. And as much as I didn't want to admit that she was right.
Yeah.
You know, she was right. And she's speaking from the perspective of a woman who raised two boys, you know, even though dad was there all the time, you know, women get tired from different things that we do. Their
Yeah.
needs are different, and we have to understand that and accommodate that because we want our needs accommodated too, right?
Amen. Yes.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
No,
she helped me with that, you know, to be a little more observant of when my wife is tired and try to do a little more to help her out.
thank you for that, Marvin. Seriously. And that leads into our next question. As men, what can we do in society to make life better for mothers?
I would say real quick, acknowledge, like we're doing right now. We gotta keep doing this. Acknowledge and respect and honor, appreciate, and get your ego out the way. Like just
Mm.
love on them and love. I'm like, yo, I'm forever in debt for every beautiful mother that has impacted my life, every sister, every auntie, every cousin, every friend, right? I mean, my team, my colleagues, my direct reports, my leadership, my managers. And so for me, it's just acknowledging, say, hey, I see you.
Mm.
You are a queen in all that you travel through, and realize that I am nothing without you contributing the way you are in my life. I think we can never say that enough to every person, every woman in our life that has made direct and indirect impact. It's a community of mothers, and I'm so grateful for them all. So
Mm.
acknowledging first is huge.
Thank you, Jesse. Thank you. About to maybe play some James Brown behind that, man.
Hell yeah, bro.
Can you repeat that question one more time?
What can we do better as men to, support the mothers that are out here in the world?
Uh, I don't know. I feel like my answer is about to be like hella complicated, so pardon me, y'all.
Sure.
um, I feel like it starts as like us being able to not necessarily check the kids, but like being able to just tell kids, hey, be respectful to your mom. Like if you see someone kind of just like do a little help. You know what I'm saying? Like, uh, at least like back when I was when I was, being a little kid, other people were able to comfortably tell somebody, hey, or like correct, you're getting correction from other men or other, adults in general. Now it's
Mhm.
just like everybody is just so, I don't know, closed
Separated,
off, or, if it's like,
isolated.
yeah, it's colder now. It's like it's not even really warm. It's this coldness going on right now. But it's like I feel like if people are able to, when another adult is kind of correcting something, you don't be quick to pop off. Like, just understand what they're talking about. Like, I'm pretty sure they're trying to drop some gems and trying to help out at the same time. Nobody's just gonna sit there and try and like, undermine you or something. I feel like everybody just gotta kind of understand that. But it starts with being able to help one another, like check their kids, or if you see like kids are going out of control, like what I'm saying, hey, calm down, or listen to your parents. They're telling you to stop. You gotta kind of like chime in a little bit. Uh,
Yeah.
don't do too much. Just just a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel like it starts with that. Uh, I would say recognition as well, as being able to just um let them know that they're doing a great job. Like, I don't know if they get that a lot, but even if they're even if the mothers aren't your mom, like if it's like somebody that is a mom, but you're doing a great job, like you're being a great mom. I see the way that you take care of your kids. I see the way that you really dress them down, like just let them know that they are doing a good job, because I know sometimes they be in their head like thinking like they're not doing enough or whatever the case may be. I know my mom was. She admitted it to me. I'm like, like, nah, man, you did great, man. Look, I'm like, look at me, you know what I'm saying? So, just let them know like they're doing a good job. If you see something, say something.
Mm.
Uh, be respectful with it. Don't and also as men, we gotta watch how we talk to women as well. I feel like that's a part of it, because kids watch and they soak up like sponges, you know what I'm saying? So it's like we really gotta, if you see your brother like, talking crazy or, wilding out, like, check him, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, immediately. Don't let it like, continue, because if a kid see it, they're gonna see that and then try and act that wherever they at. Like, so it's basically along those lines. I feel like I said enough, so
No,
yeah, y'all go ahead.
man, Derek, you right there, brother. Thank you. Seriously. Okay, we got,
Okay. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
no, come on, Corey, come
I
on.
would say as a man, and as we get older, being able to observe and resolve either conflict or just minor issues without having a conversation.
Mm.
Without the conversation, being able to see someone and just do it. We don't have to talk about it. And that goes a long way with women. Just see something need to be done and just do it. No conversation needed. Being observed and just do something. I don't care if it's simple. If you hear her mention she need to do something, she hear her mentioning something, Just do it. No conversation need to be done. And that puts the confidence back in your relationship.
Love it. Love it. Thank you.
Yeah,
Man, for
that
sure.
I love
Oh,
that,
my bad,
Corey.
Marvin.
No, I'm sorry, brother. Corey, that was excellent.
Mm-hmm.
Because that is something that uh I know for sure my wife appreciates when you can just do something that you know needs to be done without them asking. That takes a load off, you know. And to piggyback off what Derek was saying, acknowledge there are mothers you can't do physically do things for, but you can always acknowledge what you see. Um, I know one young lady who raised three boys.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and she was married and her husband flaked, and she was left with these boys. They're all going through college. They're all they're all
Wow.
doing great, in their careers. And every now and again I just have to like tap her on the shoulder and say, yo, did a great job, and that goes a long, long way. I know another young lady now that I work with. She's young, but she has four children, and everything that she does is for those kids. The overtime she works, she puts together parties for them, for their birthdays, and she just really tries to make sure that her kids have the best that she can possibly give them.
Yeah.
And she's not getting any help from the dad, at all. But I know it goes a long way when someone says to her, I see you and I see what you're doing, And then sometimes um they may not appreciate it at the moment, but sometimes you have to say to them like, hey, you might want to back off of this. you know, no one likes to hear that they're doing something that could be detrimental. But as much as giving them praise for the good things, sometimes you have to alert them that there are some things that could be harmful.
Mm.
This one young lady uh, she's a sweetheart, but she curses a lot.
Yeah.
She curses a lot. And she was remarking about her youngest daughter, who is 3, starting to curse,
Mm.
you know. And I said to her in a gentle way, you see, she's picking up on what you do. So you got to watch what you do. And I'm not trying to, I'm not saying you're a bad mom, but sometimes we're just not careful, and you got to be careful. So as much as we want to give um, words of affirmation when they do well, we also want to give a word of wisdom when we see something that could be detrimental.
Oh, love it. Seriously. Absolutely needed. And I appreciate you mentioned in a gentle way too. Even we try to be gentle, we have to pay attention to our intentions as well as the impact. You The Mario, what you got? Am I saying it right? Is the Mario
Man,
Demario?
Demario.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah,
I make sure.
yeah. Nah, I mean, pretty much, man. Derek, Corey, Jesse, Marvin, they brought it home with it. They all touched on acknowledgement, and I feel like at the end of the day, that's the biggest thing. Marvin, a little bit earlier, not like a little bit earlier when he was talking. Um, it's kind of like that acknowledgement too, not just acknowledging them, but also acknowledging something that you may or may not be doing. Like, I believe you said it was your mom that said you need to help out your wife some more, or she's tired. Like sometimes it's that self check, like, oof, like that look in the mirror, like, oh, you know what? I didn't even see that, you right. And man, that can go a long, long, long way as well.
And if I can throw in like Demario said, everything y'all are saying, I appreciate and is valued. And I hope everyone that's listening to this right now, once again, I'm Drake with Everythang Culture. We have Derek, you from the makers of Derek. We have Marvin from the makers of Marvin. We have Demario. We have Corey with Beyond Everything LLC, and we have Jesse Rose Jr. from the makings of Jesse, as well as Where Are We Now with Jesse Rose Jr. here. And make sure to like, share, and subscribe. But what we y'all are saying so much from Derek saying I everything with Derek said, I said mentorship. Okay. When we see where we work out in the community, I'm big on mentorship. You know, we used to say pulling each other coattail. When you see a kid out here, um, you know, making a mistake or doing something that may not be better in their best interest, let's say that. I never forget driving down my neighborhood. It's about 6, 7 years ago, and some kids about to squabble on the sidewalk. And I'm like, hey, take it to a backyard. Don't do it on the sidewalk, okay? Make it make sense. Now, I ain't saying to stop what y'all doing. I ain't that level. Because I believe sometimes when you got to do what you got to do it. But at the same time, if you don't have to, cool. But I think just saying don't do it out in the open like this, it helped out a lot, okay? Kid about to shoplift or something like that. Hey, think about what you're doing. Is it worth it? Do you need help? Would you like somebody to purchase for it at times if something needed? Seeing a mother going back with Marvin and even with Corey saying, sometimes it's just doing it. Like I've covered some in the checkout line, I cover it for you. I see you stressed out. You ain't even gotta do all that. You got it. Leading by example, what I think everybody's saying. I'll say be the change you want to see. Be that person that you had in your childhood or that person you did not have in your childhood. Be that person that you needed in life. Because coming from a single parent household or multi-gender, like I was raised with my grandparents, my mom, and my auntie at different points in my life. I've seen times where she, little, once again we get personal. I've seen time my mother, I have a seizure in the front yard, and I'm trying to carry her in the house as like a 10-year-old, and I'm seeing other adult men and people in the neighborhood just drive by and don't help at all. That is when you grow up. Why should you trust the world there? You know what I mean? So when I say be that change you want to see, do little things that you as men, we may not be thankful for today. Don't do it because you want the thanks and appreciation. Do it because you know it need to be done. And I believe that us being better people is going to have better society and community. You can't control, and once again, going back to move that ego out that way. Your ego is your insecurity. That's it. Move that out the way so you can make we see so much happen in the community and society today, and we complain about it, do we not? We joke about YNs. That's crazy when using that terminology. But the thing is, they are, I work with you. They need love. They want a hug a lot. They're missing something. They're lacking something in that household. And of course, we're going back with Marvin say, be gentle. I always say you got to be that with that velvet hammer at times. You still can have to be firm, but you got to, okay, I'm trying, but I have to be very thorough when I'm saying what we're trying to do and continue to build what Derek said we're lacking, that warmness, that community, that,
We
I'm just speaking because I see it so often. I'm in a community now and I see kids, and I'm like, I go and talk to like back in the day. If I slipped up, best believe my auntie, my parents, and my family are gonna know about it before I got to the house. It was an understood connection between one another. And people say we don't have it. We still can have it if I would start with us to start ourselves to make that change.
like these days, like you gotta check the temperature, man. Like with what you see now, it's a lot more sensitivity now than what it
Yeah.
was. At least for me, what I can tell is like a lot more sensitivity now than when I was growing up. Like they feel a lot more of the emotions. Like it's more heightened. It's more like it's So now you really have to pay attention to really what you say, how you say it, because the emotions gonna have people jumping out the windows. So it's like
Hmm.
like you really gotta like lock in. Be careful how you approach certain things, and just if you see something, just honestly, if you see something, say something. Like we gotta be able to be courageous enough to, kind of be on that level, or like if somebody need help, help them out. Like be that example. Like you saying, just if you set that example, then the young ones they're gonna see that, and then you'll be that mold, and they'll be able to fill in that shoe. So yeah.
Yeah. And I'm gonna throw this question out here too. How do you see the role of a mother in this day and age? How has it shifted over generations? I know some of y'all got a little bit more wisdom than some of the rest of us, but how have y'all seen mother, or has it shifted? Have it already been this? Like, has responsibilities of moms increased, or has things just been the same way?
uh Man, if it feels like I've seen it, it's like I feel like it's increased for them on their side. Like it's been like emotionally and physically, and then being able to do a whole lot more given certain circumstances. Like dudes not being able to step up or X Y Z. You know, but it does seem like they have been taking on a whole lot more. Um, and some people aren't really checking their homies and telling them, hey, you got to step up. You got to,
Mm,
you know, did this. You really got to lock in. Like it doesn't matter if you don't like her. You got to step in for the child.
mm,
That's your seed. Don't care about none of that. You don't let that seed go, by the wayside. You know what I'm saying? Like it's cold out here. You the parent, do what you got to do. You got to check your homies. Like tell your homies like you got to lock in for your kids. Like forget all that other stuff. You got kids. Check your homies. That's just point blank. Period. If you're not checking your homies, then you're not a good friend.
mm.
That's just what it is. And you got to check them on everything. Uh, keep their morals right. Like if you're not like we not. I don't want to say we. Like I try my best to check with all my homies. Like, but it's like if you're not doing that, then there's something wrong. If you're not checking your man's, please. Like there's something not right.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So yeah.
See you,
I feel
Corey.
it's I feel it's a difference. This is what I'd like to say to a lot of youth. See, I'm from Chicago, right? So beyond
Mm,
everything, the conception of us, right? Bunch of guys come from all walks of life. And, we do violence prevention. You know, we try to stop certain things. We do battle women's shelters. We feed the homeless. We dedicate our money, our funds to that. We feed them on the street. We clothe
yeah,
battle women's
yeah.
shelters. But here's the problem that I get that I see within the youth. Humans are not like a piece of technology, right?
Mm,
There is no update button for us. Most High haven't updated us. We're the same emotionally as we began. And the morals is what principles that guided us. And to hear youth people say, well, that's old. How could a moral be old? What are you replacing it with? It's the things that got us for 100,000 years got us to this point. And to hear a lot of young women say, we're not like our old people. We're not doing the old things. And maybe that's the problem.
mm.
The values. The values don't change. There's no update to values. They remain the same. And that's the biggest problem that I see.
Thank you, Corey. Thank you.
Brother Corey, that was wonderful what you just said. Um, the role of mother has not changed at all. It's the same. Society has, I think, there's so much out there now that is made to separate
Mm,
men and women. It seeks to separate and it seeks to heap more on the woman, to have her take on more than what she was originally designed to take on, and say you don't need him. So what you have a lot of times is people in their pride who won't say, "Yo, bruh, I need you to step up and be daddy. I need you to step up, financially. I need you to step up emotionally. Your children need you." And people have bought into that. when it was never meant to be that. One of the things I tell people all the time, and I get a lot of pushback on it, is we're better together.
Mm.
And that doesn't necessarily mean we have to be in romantic relationship. But if I lay down with you and you have my child, we're better parenting together. We work better. It's supposed to be that way.
Mm.
That's why it takes both of us to make the child, because both of us have something to pour into the child. She can't do all the pouring and expect a balanced child. I can't do all the pouring and expect a balanced child. The role that has not changed, like Corey said, but we've shifted and given more to one side in order to say to the other side, we don't need you.
Mm.
And we need each other, period, point blank.
Support that. Support that.
Nah, I agree. Facts. Big facts. Um, but like uh, women empowerment doesn't mean that she have to be a single mom. Um, I think males have taken society has made women empowerment a positive thing, but also that if you are a single mother, from a male perspective, it's like, okay, well, I mean, all right, let you go, rah rah, hey, yay for you, you got it. INDEPENDENT. Do
Do
you
you
know,
know
like,
what
I'm
that
saying? I feel
mean?
like, yeah, like we've taken that and made it something that it's not. I feel like we should still be able to boost, motivate, and support our women, and that does not mean that we do not show up. That doesn't mean like, oh, they playing the game and we over here like, nah, bro, I'm the backup QB. I ain't got to go in. I'm chilling. Like, nah, bro,
Mm.
you better get on that field.
Mm.
Whether we up by 60 or down by 60, you better get on that field and contribute. So,
Mm. I like that. I like that. You
If
know,
she the QB, we the O line.
it,
hey, that part, yeah, yeah.
it's, it, to win the game, you need everybody to play their role. Everybody can't be the quarterback. Everybody can't be the running back. Everybody can't be the receiver, the O line. I be it. Now, sometimes you may have to shift. Sometimes the running back, the quarterback may scramble. Okay, the quarterback may run. All right. Sometimes the running back may run out and be a receiver. Okay. The receiver may even come be quick QB when they may do one of them, little you switch rule tricks, throw it out, throw it down the field, whatever the case may be. But at the end of the day, you cannot play all roles. You shouldn't, because sooner or later you go burn out. Okay, it's going to happen. And I'm big on community. Going back, even you have the mother and the father, the community is still needed. We still need our neighbors. We still need our family. We still need other people to come lift us up. As long as I've been living, I've known, like, if you have a community of people that, like, okay, we stressed out, the parents, somebody step in, somebody help each other out. And, with the mothers that we have out here, it's amazing to see the work that's being done, because it's hard. So once again, shout out to all the moms and the people who step in to be in the roles of mothers. Okay. And I'm gonna touch on this and we go slide out soon. 'Cause I know we doing great on. I know time be flying by when we having great conversations. But I have to do a quick shout out to my mother-in-law. She is a great mom. I'm so grateful to have her in my life, and I say it's a certain amount of women that I think is like just God sent. They're like angels. They're not just mothers to people, they're mothers to everybody. They're like that neighborhood mom that everybody know, like, this person is just about love, goodness, and coming together. Just whatever you need, baby, how can I help you? And those are good people to see. I know women that never had kids, but they were excellent mothers. Their kids with every child, every human being that came through them, they gave them love. And I say this, and I want to hear from y'all, is just like, what can we do to just show appreciation this year? Not only saying what changes make, just I know we show appreciation, but what are we doing to show appreciation? But I want to make sure to say that when it comes down to the women, and I argue with some women all the time because I think being a mother is sacrifice. And sacrifice to me is love. Because what you have to put your body through, what you have to put your mentors through, with the continued direction that you give your kids, that's hard to do. And the work I've done, some others and some people who have children don't step up and do that. So doing it is an amazing thing to do so. But for this year, 2025, how are you gentlemen, celebrating Mother's Day or just showing appreciation for your mothers in your life?
Me, I'm just going to continue to spend time, continue to be, better myself. Every day is a journey for me too to become better.
Mm,
Um, and doing the things without having to be told. That shows appreciation and that shows you care and be better than I was last year.
mm,
There is no limit. There's no apex to our human behavior. We can always push and be a little bit better. There is no limit. So we have room for improvement on all fronts. We can always improve, do something just a little bit better.
thank you.
I don't really have anything to like I said
Man,
like do anything different, but I would say I would continue just all the mothers that I know, my friends that are mothers or my aunties and all them. I just continue to just let them know that they're doing a great job. Gift giving.
mm,
Like, just that's my appreciation of them. And just spending like some little quality time with them. You know, or like might do like a little favor for them or something like that. Something simple.
yeah,
Uh, but just I guess acknowledgement, just continuing to acknowledge them and just you know letting them know that everything that they are doing and have done is appreciated. Appreciated. Sorry.
yeah, yeah. And while I'm with you, Derek, not to just single you out, but that's exactly what I'm doing. It's just, how are you feeling this year, brother? I gotta check with you,
Man,
man.
boy. It's been a roller coaster. I'm not even gonna lie. I hit I hit the stores like what a day ago, and I was cleaning up. You know what I'm saying? Just going through all the stuff, and I hit the radiation papers. And I broke. Like, I'm talking
Mm,
about crashed. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, man, it's like I miss my mom. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Um, it's another year. I mean, but it's okay. I'm more comfortable with, you know, letting it go, like letting the emotions go.
yeah,
I still be like, stuffing it inside, but I'm a little bit more comfortable letting them go. But it's definitely is still getting used to another Mother's Day without seeing my mom. I mean, it's really weird, yo. I'm not even gonna
yeah,
lie. But being appreciative of life and what's around me and all my friends that are mothers, just now happy Mother's Day, just being appreciative of everything. Uh, I feel like that's the best thing that I can do. Um, and we just carry forward and you know, I do little things like, go out and get like our favorite ice cream, stuff like that. Little things to keep the memories alive and just smile. Like I'm appreciative of the time that I had and be able to bless people with what she left, what she left me, being able to be nice, kind, hospitable. Like that's how she raised me. I mean, don't let the world turn you cold. I mean,
yeah,
no matter what hurts you, don't change. I mean,
yeah.
just keep, you know what I'm saying? And spread the love of God.
Amen, boy. Let me tell you.
Yeah.
And And for the ones who have yet to listen to the makings of Derek the Poet, Derek, I would say recently because it to me it is always gonna feel recently, okay. Within this is I think year two, um,
I think.
of losing his mother, and I talked
No, wait,
about it.
no. It was 2021, May
Oh,
4th.
year
I
four.
yeah, I know I got the hoodie on. Like yeah. So yeah, tomorrow's like the actual anniversary. So
Oh
yeah.
wow. So
Yeah,
man,
that's
you got our love, brother. Seriously. And take, I love that you have that smile on your face, keep God
Mhm.
first. Find the ways that, your support system. If you just need to call and just chop it up and share and just let it loose, been there. So
Yeah.
it's
I
a
would I
journey.
would
It's
say
a
kind of like the hardest, like being real vulnerable. One of the hardest things is like growing up with my mom, watching like how she put herself on the back burner, and even when she didn't have much, she would still go out her way to help people and stuff like that. And it's just like sometimes it'd be like, in this current day and age, it's like it feels like she's just forgotten. I'm just like, dang, like what I'm saying, like, I don't know how that feeling, I don't know how to explain it, but it's just like, man, like sometimes I feel kind of like I'm the only one trying to remember or keep the memories alive. It's like a weird feeling. Like am I trapped or you know what I'm saying? It's like I'm in this weird slot, but just being able to still just be appreciative and just give it to God. He's always to the fatherless and stuff. So yeah.
and if I may share with you, man, you keep your mother's memory alive. You are her. Okay, first and foremost. And as you mentioned earlier, the things that you've seen her do, the love you that you give, keep giving it. Contact man, listen. When my mama's friends reach out to me, once again, I'm 30, about to be 39 this year. Mother passed 24 years ago, bro. And when people hit up, like, you know, they'll see me on Facebook. Man, I used to hang out with your mama. Woo, 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 man. Yeah, I got these pictures I'm gonna send you. Man, I would love to have them. Please send them to me. Okay. I'll post every now and then, and people will see certain things. I'll talk about like even this conversation I have right now. I'm gonna bring my mother up. You feel me? That and talk about even though she may have made mistakes, but she instilled some greatness in us. Now, if my mama was alive during social media, she'll be yeah. She was throw like that. Let's do what we say in my hometown. Okay, she was eventful. She loved to get into things. But case in point, you continue to share that legacy. You feel me? By whatever means, if you put on a hoodie, a hat, small mementos, something I talk about it, but I have to start doing it. I used to do something called roses, where I would just. Do y'all remember? Did y'all ever watch the Tom Joyner morning show or listen to it? Okay, he used to have something called Real Fathers, Real Men, and he used to give something. I think it was weekly or maybe day. I think it was weekly, and he used to just shout out men in the community that just made a difference. People would recommend them, and he'll just do a big shout out on his radio station. Remember, there's a little boy, listen to it every morning, and I want to do that for not only men, for women too. It's just giving people their roses while they're here. Okay,
Mhm.
and what I did it like 3 4 times, but it was a little expensive. Didn't have the money to keep it up. But when I tell you the type of impact it made on lives, it's amazing. And even what you're doing with your legacy, your mom, what you're going through, keep it going. Share it. And I do it because of the women, my mother, and the other women that mother figures in my life that impacted me. I, I want them to be recognized now and later. That's one thing that we can do to continue to uplift them as well. But you're not crazy, man. I'll tell you that. You're not tripping. You're not, brother.
I be feeling. I'm like, man,
I
yo,
promise you, you're not, man. I promise you, you're not. It will be some days you gonna feel like it,
like,
but you're not,
I'm
man.
like in my head, like, y'all remember? Nah, let me shut up. Like,
See, I'm different. I said, y'all gonna remember. Let me tell you
yeah,
about this, okay? That's how I am.
but celebrating not just my mom, but my aunt too. Like, like I call them my twin towers.
Mm,
They're literally like what made me. Like if you see me, you see them. Like so, I always be like, man, I wish people could have met them, when they're alive, man, because they never understand and feel genuine, true, like somebody that really accepts you for who you are.
mm,
Welcome, like as soon as he welcome, got food on the table, or they whipping something up off the rip, like you know what I'm saying, like, and it's just being able to it's like this warm presence is like you just know, like it's not even your house, but it feels like it's your house. Like I
yeah,
don't know how to
yeah.
explain it. And then like, man, it's like it's a different feeling. It's just like, man, and the hospitality, like, whew, like I don't know. I wish everybody would be able to experience it, but it's like I do that. I am that. I do that like by myself. I just be able to welcome anybody. Uh, I don't gotta be for nobody. It's like, yo, you with them? Come on, like you rolling too. Like I make sure to include everybody. If somebody need help, I got you. Like it's nothing. It's nothing to you know, be a good person, a good God fearing person. It's really nothing. Don't let the hurt change you. Don't
Mm,
let that hurt change you. If it's got to you, give it to God and come on back. Man. Get yourself out of there. Get yourself back.
mm.
Yeah.
Nah, man.
'Cause I
Thank you.
mean, there's been times where it's like I was close to letting the pain really just alter me. Like it was some times I was really close, but I had to let it go, and I'm still here. Still
Nah,
here.
man.
As you can see, got a smile on my face. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
And I'm gonna say again, thank you for sharing. Once again, I think this was needed right here because some folks may be dealing with these things and don't know how to express it. They may feel the same way you're feeling. They may feel like they're
Yeah.
crazy and alone in the world, or think they're the only one thinking about this. But thank you for
Yeah.
sharing, and
If
thank you,
you
Jesse.
have somebody, if you know somebody that, if you have a loved one or a friend or somebody that is currently taking care of somebody, and you know that they might possibly lose them, they are going through a lot of stuff. So their emotions are going to be, it's not going to be stable. It's going to be up, down, it's going to be whatever. Stay with them because they're going to need it. They're going to need it, especially when everything hits the fan. Whew, they going to need some people. So just don't give up on them and hold them down because they will be a rough ride. Speaking from experience, it's going to be one hell of a ride. Just hold them down as best as you can. Keep them in prayer.
Yeah,
Keep them in your prayers for real, because it's a war, especially when it's all said and done. If they're on the same level as like what I lost, man, it's nothing but internal war. It's pain. It's this. It's that. Like it's like they can't even tell who's who, what's what. It's like they don't know. It's a lot. It's a lot. So just hold it, keep them in your prayers, stay by their side, and you will need a threshold, by the way, because they might have moments where they just crash out on you, but it's like it's not because of you. It's because of whatever is happening. Whatever they don't know how to properly channel whatever they're feeling, whatever's festering because of the immense things that they're dealing with taking care of somebody that they might be possibly losing or whatever the case may be. So just be aware of that. Please be aware of that. I went through that. Um, I'm not perfect. I, when after I lost my mom and, was chilling with the homies, I wasn't the same person. Like, a lot of my settings got switched.
yeah,
I went through a whole bunch of stuff, but I got into it with one of my homies and I had said some stuff. And, when you say some things, sometimes you're not able to come
take them
back
back.
from that. You know what I mean? But him not understanding that it's not like I don't really feel like that. It's just a lot of stuff festering, and I crashed out. So
Yeah,
just helping people understand that can happen. You know what I'm saying? Just be aware and just know that that's not really them. It's just whatever it is that they're unable to really fully express because of the pain and everything. Just have
and
some patience, give it to God, keep them in prayer. Sorry, I don't mean to take up
no,
all
and
the
I,
time.
no, Derek, and I don't never want to cut you off because I believe it's needed once again, and I thank you for this. And I went through it at a younger age, and we talked about this, and
I went through it like twice actually.
yeah, and you talking about even, and I'm gonna say this is once again for the mothers and what he's sharing and the mother figures in our life, losing one, that impact is crazy. So shout out to all my brothers here. If your mother's still living, love them and cherish them, and even everybody's listening to this, love them. Even if they made a mistake and you're not on the same page, they working your nerves. Love them because that disconnect, like what Derek is saying, it's going to change you.
You gotta
Yeah,
forgive, please,
yeah,
please, please, please.
forgive big
Don't,
time.
man, look, don't let somebody pass away. And you ain't squash whatever it is, because when they gone, bro, please, 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 don't go through it. That will eat you alive. That's the one of those
Yeah,
things that will tear you apart completely. So if you got whatever beefs or whatever, make sure y'all squash it with whoever, because when they gone. I'm telling you right now, you're not going to be able to get that, that moment to, I'm sorry for this or and it's gonna eat you from the inside out. So
and once again, I'm not going to apologize for this conversation right here. I want to say thank y'all for listening. Because this is once again, it's everything culture. We get a little emotional and get in depth at times, but I will thank y'all again for being here. I want to thank y'all for listening. And I know we have Marvin and Demario, Jesse. I know Jesse moving and shaking, and Corey. But I want to see like with Demario and Marvin, how y'all are doing for 2025 to just, Mother's Day to show some appreciation. Or do y'all want to continue? Like once again, this is open right now, really.
Yeah, on my end, I'm gonna say, man, continue to grow and show. And that show part is meaning show up in all capacities. It's not always about, um, I don't know, it's not just always about the day, right? Just
Yeah.
that consistent effort, consistent showing up. That's what I'm gonna do because it's easy to get out that we love to call them routines, right? It's easy to do it for a day, but for anything, you start those routines, and it just becomes consistent, it becomes second nature.
Love it. Love it.
I'm going to say I want to be more intentional.
Mm.
Um, intentionally spending time with my mom. One of the things my mom does a lot because we're in that kind of busy season of life.
Yeah.
And my mother will send a text to me and my brother, like a selfie, because she's learned how to take selfies now. And seasoned people and technology is a blessing and a curse. Mom will take a selfie and send it to me and my brother and say, "Do you all know this lady? She's really lonely. She wishes her sons would call her. She wishes her sons would come see her." And my mom's 25 minutes away. My brother lives in Texas, so he has a pass.
Mm.
But but I have to be more intentional about not just getting myself over to the house to see them, but also getting my kids by there. Because when
Mm.
when my son was born, my wife and I were married for 10 years before we had kids. And when my son was born, my mom said, in 6 months, I'm coming to get him every Friday. So after 6 months of being parents, for 11 years, unless they were out of town or had something going on, they came and got my son. And when my daughter came along, they came and got my daughter every Friday for 11 years
Dang.
until my son said, what, he said, I don't want to go over there every week anymore, because he's getting older, he's 11. He wants to
Friends.
do, he wants to, he's a gamer. So he wants to be on the game and he wants to do all that kind of stuff. But they love their grandchildren. And so I have to be intentional about spending time with them, getting their grandkids to spend time with them. With my wife, I have to be intentional about helping her.
Yeah.
I have to be intentional about planning things for us. So that one of the things about being a mom is you're always more than that.
Mm.
She's more than just the mother of my
Mm.
kids. You know, she's my wife. She's my best friend. I have to be intentional about making her know that she's still my best friend, that she's
Mm.
still my wife. She's still the apple of my eye. Um, she's still the baddest thing on the block
Let them
in the
know.
city. You feel me?
Yeah, let them know.
I gotta be more intentional about those things. So, and even for those other mothers in my life who um, may not be, related to me, I have to, be intentional about acknowledging them. Intention is the word, and being intentional is the thought for not just 2025, but I'm gonna try and be that way for the rest of my life.
Love it. Love it. Man, brothers, thank y'all. I like I truly appreciate this, man.
Wait,
Um,
one more, just one more.
come on, man.
Um, don't let work take up all your time.
Mm.
When I had to take care of my mom and stuff like that, I had to really work and stuff like that. But don't let the work like overpower the time that you have to spend with your loved ones,
Mm.
because you're not always gonna have that time. Um, the money is not always worth it. So just be careful with, when it comes to like working or overworking and stuff like that. Spend as much time as you can with your peoples. Work gonna be there. I mean, the OT is gonna be there. Just, what I'm
Yeah,
saying, money ain't always worth it.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
Tomorrow,
yeah,
devil,
that's
y'all
that's all
work
I
ain't
got.
going nowhere. Trust me, work ain't going nowhere.
Yeah.
Nah, but seriously, y'all are hitting everything on the nose and so well said. And I love, once again, I love y'all and I appreciate this. Seriously. So seriously, your first time being here or your umpteenth time being here, this is value
Love you back,
conversations like
brother.
these, man. Seriously.
Love you right back, my friend.
Serious. Like, and the work we're doing and this is the time for the support. So I would love to hear from all y'all, and I want our audience to know how can they support you, where can they find y'all, okay, what y'all got going on right now. I know Jesse's around. I'm gonna list Jesse. With Jesse. We have a book that's just dropped, Leadership Unlocked. And that's not only the book but also the Audible book, which Everythang Culture helped produce this Audible book. So if y'all got anything, got me and the wifey on it. All right. We have episodes, of course, of Everythang Culture. We could talk about that later. But what y'all got going on? Let me hear from y'all.
Well, I run in all things digital, uh, logo creation, vectorizing, embroidery shop. I have a double master's. A young man says he's from California. See, I played for Cal from '94 to '98.
Mm.
Right. So that's what I do. That's what I got going on right now. I just left corporate America. Was in IT for 20 some years. This January, I decided to, give myself a shot. My youngest boy plays football for Illinois. He's a senior this year. So, his mom and I, first kids in our generation, besides him having a scholarship, that we footed the bill for college. We paid out of our pocket for all of our children to go to school. So we're coming to the end of that. So that's what I do, beyond everything. That's what we do.
And like social medias, beyond everything.
You find me on
Everything.
Beyond everything. Check me out on TikTok. I do run embroidery classes, teaching people how to do the business and stuff like that. TikTok is where you find me. I'm not really a social media type of guy, but you can catch me there.
Gotcha, brother. Gotcha. Thank you.
If you wanna find me, TikTok, Instagram, not just a guy named Marvin, and for my business, the Chocolate Experience. uh, and you'll see this face, see that this face on both pages. um, uh, not just a guy named Marvin. I want to explain that real quick because people will be like, "What do you mean, you're not just a guy?" I'm not just a guy.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
not just a guy. You're so much more. Husband, father. You see my bio, it says husband, father, servant of the Most High, entrepreneur, bowler.
Big bowler.
You know, big bowler.
Yeah.
um, in fact, hosting a Bowlers of TikTok meetup tournament in August. Um,
Awesome.
and so far the turnout's coming on. It's coming up pretty good. Hopefully we can get a few more participants, but we're at about 30 people now. They'll all be coming here to Michigan. For those who don't already live here, but we'll be hosting that. And if you follow me there, you'll see us on live. We're going to be live streaming the bowling outing. But when I said not just a guy, at first you remember Drake, it was just a guy named
Yeah,
Marvin.
I remember.
It was just a guy. And then like the more I thought about it, it was like you're not just a guy though.
Yeah.
You are a husband, you are a father, you are an entrepreneur, you are a servant of the Most High, you are a friend, you are a mentor. God has given you so much to share that you're not just a guy. So you'll find me there, those platforms, Facebook, Marvin D. Powell. If you want to send me a Facebook friend request, Marvin D. Powell. You want to follow the Chocolate Experience on Facebook, you can do that too. Um, yeah. If you want to find me there, and hopefully we can connect and build. And Derek, I want to say this to you, Derek, because you kind of touched me, man. I just want to let you know I'm praying for you, brother. I'm praying for you. I'm feeling you. Okay, I'm feeling you, and I'm praying for you. I don't know what it's like to lose my mom. We lost my mother-in-law a few years ago, actually on my birthday.
Mm.
Um, and yeah, and that was rough. But that was really rough, more so for my wife. My mother-in-law was, bar none, I couldn't have had a better mother-in-law. I was her son from the moment we met. you know. Um, and I feel you. I just wanted to let you know your words, even behind your smile.
Yeah. Yeah.
You smiling, but I feel you.
Yeah.
Okay. And I just want you to know I'm praying for you, brother. All right.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I don't be look when people be saying I be telling I be like, man, I don't want to. I'm just here, bro. I don't be understanding. I don't think that I'd be having any type of an impact. I just be saying stuff but I
Mm.
appreciate you. Thank you for that.
But you
Thank you, bro. I
do.
really appreciate
But
that.
you do have
I,
impact.
You do have an
You
impact.
do have
You have a
impact.
great impact, brother.
Eh,
You have a great impact. And
Yeah.
so realize that.
Yeah.
I'm
Okay.
trying. I really am.
Accept that.
Everybody be telling me I'm really trying to see it. I can't see it.
Sometimes it's
But
not for you to see, it's
Yeah.
for
mhm,
others. You
And
know what I'm
it's
saying? Because when we know we got something, a lot of times we get kind of caught up in the fact that we got it.
yeah.
mhm, mhm,
You know what I'm
Listen,
saying?
you're a
So
humble person,
sometimes
brother.
your impact is hidden from you, not from others. Others will
mhm.
see it. Others will feel it. And because the Most High don't want you to get caught up in your own impact, He don't
Okay.
allow you to see it.
Hey,
But let us let
It's
us
his.
affirm you and let
look,
us tell you that you got it.
listen.
Okay.
I know we talked about you. You ain't go see the movie, and that's okay. But it was a certain song that was sung in this movie called Sinners that people see people saying it's a lot of things that they trying to teach you about that is really for that with the Lord have for us. But you better start singing this little light of mine and recognize you do have a light within you. Okay?
Amen. Amen. Thank y'all.
Seriously.
Thank y'all. I appreciate that. I
Seriously.
appreciate
But Derek, I know you got things going on too. Where can the people find and support you, man?
Well, I got my poetry page. It's Derek the Poet Poetry. That's up. I got my regular TikTok page, Derek the Poet 12. I made a fellowship I made a fellowship group on Telegram. It's 27. It's called Iron on Iron 2717, based off of Proverbs. Iron sharpens iron. So being able to fellowship with one another to help sharpen each other's love of God, because we be chopping, we chopping. Eventually we get dull. So it's like, being able to help one another, just resharpen up. It's for anybody and everybody. So feel free to join. Um, Instagram, Derek the Poet 12. I'm working on making a comeback to the stage within a month or so. So new content coming out. Yeah, I think that's really basically it for right now. I got the YouTube as well for Iron on Iron, and I got my regular YouTube. I'm working on redoing that for other stuff. So yeah, we working, we doing our thing.
Already. And
Just
Demario.
followed you too, Derek. Just followed you.
All right, I'll follow back. I'll follow back. As long, what I mean, I tell everybody, look, I'll follow back. Just don't be weird. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, no, I got you. Let me check it out.
Love it.
Man, on my end, man, my bad. Family just got here for this fight, so my bad. You hear him in the background, but man, on my end, man, woken her. That's my Instagram. And I feel like I always gotta explain that. Look, I ain't the wokest in the room. Ain't trying to be the wokest in the room, but I'm trying to learn from everybody, which makes it woken her. I'm a poet as well, spoken word artist. All in the name of my first book. You can find that on DemarioCarter.com. We can go to Amazon, but we ain't trying to support Amazon, so that's a whole nother thing. Ain't gonna get into that right now. Also, just with that too, man, just got videos on YouTube. Been hitting a few schools on the West Coast performing there, so I'm just trying to keep it going, keep it in motion, and keep that positivity, man, flowing.
Love it, man. Thank y'all.
Oh, one other thing. Eagles are gonna win another Super Bowl, so y'all need to prepare for that.
Oh man, them Texans looking nasty out here, man.
Them Detroit Lions coming for you.
Yeah, it's like
Detroit Lions are coming for you.
We
I'm
may need.
gonna keep my mouth closed, man.
If they can't help them, you know what I'm saying?
Amazon, go to hold on. If you can also go to iTunes. Perfect.
I want to say thank y'all. You know what I'm saying? May God bless all y'all. May He lift y'all in y'all endeavors. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully, I pray that y'all be able to reach and touch anybody else around y'all so that we can be able to uplift everybody as a whole. Y'all are amazing dudes. You know what I'm saying? And I'm happy to have, seen y'all, connected with y'all in Everythang Culture. Everythang Culture has been like definitely a strong foundation. And I pray that it just grows and increases further and we just get more dudes up here and it just be prosperous and we just be able to shed that light because the light is needed in these times. It's very dark outside. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
that's why we're here, man. But once again, I want to say thank y'all. God bless, man. Make sure to check out Everythang Culture. We with an A. There's no I in this thing, okay? You can check us anywhere you listen to a podcast. We're on YouTube. We're on Spotify, iTunes, Good Pods. Subscribe to them all. Leave 5 stars, okay? If anything less than 5 stars, I'm going to say what Jesse say. Come and talk to me and see what we can do to make it 5 for you, okay, baby? TikTok, of course, with Blue Sky, Threads, IG. You type in Everythang Culture, you will find us, okay? Holler at us, all right? Once again, shout out to my brother Jesse Rose. You can find him at Jesse JESSERHODESJR. All right, on all social media sites, as well as if you got looking for Leadership Unlocked, we're not only on Audible, but we're also on Apple. Okay, or you can go to Jesse Rose Jr. is it .net, I believe, and find us there too. JesseRoseJr.com. Okay, hey, support our people.
Spotify.
Oh, that's we get Spotify.
Yeah, I forgot Spotify for yours and mine.
Yeah, I be listening to yours on Spotify. That's where I go. But listen, I'm gonna run. I'm gonna say thank y'all so much. Appreciate y'all. And God bless. Peace.